You've been doing the work, the workouts, the clean eating, the discipline, and still, that visceral belly fat refuses to move. What if the problem was never your effort? What if it was something happening inside your body that no amount of exercise or calorie cutting can fix on its own? Here's the truth most fitness content will never tell you. The country with one of the lowest obesity rates in the world eats white rice every single day. Japan. And the reason their bodies stay lean isn't discipline, it's biology. Japanese health researchers cracked a hormonal code decades ago that the Western world is only beginning to understand. It starts with a tiny pair of glands sitting just above your kidneys, and when those glands are stuck in a silent emergency state, your visceral fat becomes biologically impossible to lose. No matter what you eat, no matter how hard you train. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's triggering that emergency signal and 5 specific ways to switch it off, starting tomorrow morning. No supplements, no extreme protocols, just the precise daily interventions that give your adrenal glands what they need to stop locking fat in place and start letting it go. The strangest part, every single step takes less time than your morning scroll. You've done everything right. You've cut the carbs, pushed through the workouts, and still, that stubborn belly fat won't move. Frustrating, isn't it? Here's the truth. You're not failing. You're just fighting the wrong enemy. The problem isn't your discipline. It isn't your diet plan, your cardio routine, or your willpower. There's something happening inside your body, invisible, silent, and completely unrelated to how hard you push, that is biologically locking that visceral fat in place. And until you address it, nothing you do at the gym or in the kitchen will change the equation. Your adrenal glands are running an emergency signal right now. Not because of danger, because of modern life. And that signal is sending one clear message to your fat cells. Hold on, don't let go. The real question isn't how much harder you should work. It's what's triggering that alarm and how to finally switch it off. The real enemy has a name: adrenal hyperactivation. It's not a dramatic condition. No doctor will diagnose it. No blood test will flag it. And when your adrenals are stuck in that loop, your visceral fat cells receive one non-stop hormonal instruction: stay exactly where you are. Japanese researchers identified this mechanism decades ago. While most of the Western world was obsessing over calories and macros, Japanese scientists were studying something far more precise: the internal hormonal environment that decides whether your body burns fat or protects it. They called this exhausted, hyperactive state Fukujin Pwai, adrenal exhaustion, a condition where the glands never fully recover, cortisol never fully clears, and visceral fat becomes biologically locked into storage mode. Here's what makes this so frustrating. You can eat perfectly and train consistently, and your body will still refuse to release that fat because the alarm is still on. Visceral fat cells are packed with stress hormone receptors. As long as cortisol keeps flowing, those cells interpret every signal as a reason to hold tighter. The lock isn't in your fridge. It isn't in your gym routine. It's in your adrenal glands, and it's been there longer than you think. Step 1. The morning alarm trap, the adrenal cortisol overfiring cycle. Here's something almost nobody tells you. The moment you wake up, your body triggers a natural cortisol surge called the cortisol awakening response. It's designed to give you energy. It's supposed to peak, then fall. But the second you reach for your phone, within minutes of opening your eyes, your brain reads that flood of notifications, headlines, and messages as a threat. The adrenal glands respond instantly. Cortisol spikes again, and the natural fall never comes. That's not a small disruption. That's a full hormonal cascade, one that keeps your adrenals inflamed and overfiring for the rest of the day. Think about it. If your adrenals are already exhausted from yesterday, and you force them into emergency mode before you've even had a glass of water, you're not starting your day, you're detonating it. Every subsequent stressor throughout the day lands on already compromised glands, and cortisol levels never find their baseline. Your body stays in protection mode. Your visceral fat stays locked. The fix is brutally simple. For the first 30 minutes after waking, keep your phone face down and out of reach. No exception. Let your cortisol awakening response peak naturally and begin. This single habit gives your adrenal glands the recovery window they need to stop overfiring. And it costs you nothing but a little patience. Control your morning. Control your body. Step 2. The mineral gap, the sodium adrenal demand link. Most people have never heard this, but your adrenal glands are mineral-dependent organs. They don't just produce cortisol. They regulate your body's sodium and potassium balance at the same time. And when that mineral balance is off, your adrenals have to work harder just to keep your system stable. More work means more output. More output means more cortisol. More output means more cortisol. More cortisol means more visceral fat sitting exactly where you don't want it. Here's where it gets practical. Modern diets are loaded with processed sodium, the wrong kind, stripped of trace minerals, in amounts that disrupt rather than restore balance. Meanwhile, The minerals your adrenals actually need, magnesium, potassium, and natural sodium from whole sources, are almost completely absent. Your glands are running on empty, firing constantly, and receiving none of the raw materials they need to recover. It's like asking an engine to run without oil and wondering why it overheats. The Japanese mineral balance approach is simple and immediate. Each morning, before your coffee, drink a full glass of room temperature water with a small pinch of high-quality sea salt and a squeeze of fresh lemon. That's it. This combination rehydrates your cells, restores electrolyte balance, and sends a direct calming signal to your adrenal glands, reducing their output demand within minutes. Do it every single morning for 1 week and pay attention to how your energy stabilizes throughout the day. Restore the minerals, quiet the alarm. Step 3. The exhale override, parasympathetic dominance, through Nuki breathwork. Your nervous system has 2 modes: sympathetic, fight, flee, survive, store fat, and parasympathetic, rest, recover, repair, burn fat. Right now, if your adrenals are hyperactivated, your body is locked in sympathetic dominance. And here's what most people don't realize. You can manually override that state. Not with meditation apps, not with supplements, with nothing but the way you breathe, specifically, the ratio between your exhale and your inhale. The exhale is directly wired to your parasympathetic nervous. This is the core principle behind Nuki breathwork, a deliberate breathing practice built around one simple mechanic. Breathe in for 4 counts, breathe out for 7. That extended exhale pharmacologically suppresses adrenal firing. Not metaphorically, biochemically. Within a single session, cortisol output drops, and your body begins shifting out of fat protection mode. The practice takes less than 5 minutes. Sit upright, close your eyes, and run 10 complete cycles. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 7. Do this once in the morning after your water ritual, and once in the early evening before your last meal. You'll know it's working when you feel a subtle heaviness in your shoulders and a slowing behind your eyes. That's your parasympathetic system taking over. Your adrenals finally standing down. Slow the exhale. Stop the alarm. Step 4. The recovery gap. The meal timing, adrenal window. Every time you eat, your body triggers a hormonal response. Insulin rises, digestion activates, and your adrenal glands get pulled into the process. But when you're eating constantly, grazing, snacking, never giving your system a real break, your adrenals never get the silence they need to clear cortisol and reset. They stay active, they stay inflamed, and your visceral fat stays protected. Here's what the science shows. Adrenal hormone levels need uninterrupted metabolic quiet to fully clear from your bloodstream. When cortisol doesn't clear, it accumulates across the day, each meal adding another layer of hormonal demand on already exhausted glands. But when you introduce a strategic eating gap, a deliberate window of at least 4 to 5 hours between your last 2 meals of the day, something shifts. Cortisol levels drop, insulin settles, and your body, no longer occupied with digestion and hormonal management, finally receives the signal it's been waiting for. It's safe to let go of the stored fat. The practical application is straightforward. Finish your lunch by early afternoon. Then hold a clean fast, water, black coffee, or plain herbal tea only, until your evening meal. No snacks, no quick bites. No, just a handful. That gap is your adrenal recovery window, and it's non-negotiable. The longer your glands operate without hormonal demand, the deeper the cortisol clearance, and the more completely your body transitions from fat protection mode into fat elimination mode. Gap your meals. Free your metabolism. Step 5. The evening signal. The darkness melatonin. Adrenal reset sequence. Most people think recovery happens during sleep, and it does, but only if the right hormonal sequence is triggered before you ever close your eyes. That sequence begins with darkness, not the dimmed glow of a television, not the blue light bleeding from your phone screen at 10 p.m. Real darkness, or something close enough to it, that tells your brain one critical thing. The day is over. Stand down. Begin the reset. Here's the mechanism. When your eyes detect bright artificial light in the evening, your brain suppresses melatonin production. That's not just a sleep problem. It's an adrenal problem. Melatonin and cortisol operate on an inverse relationship. As melatonin rises, cortisol is supposed to fall. But when artificial light delays melatonin, cortisol stays elevated deep into the night. Your adrenal glands keep firing. They never receive their nightly recovery signal. And by morning, they wake up already exhausted, already primed to overproduce the very hormones that lock visceral fat in place. The Japanese evening light discipline is deliberate and non-negotiable. 2 hours before bed, dim every light in your home to the lowest comfortable level. Switch your phone and screens to the warmest color temperature setting available. If possible, use a single warm lamp instead of overhead lighting. This environmental shift triggers a clean melatonin surge, which delivers the recovery signal your adrenal glands have been waiting for all day. Do this consistently for 5 nights in a row, and notice the difference in how rested and how lean your body begins to feel. Dim the light. Reset the glands. You now have the complete Japanese adrenal calming protocol. 5 daily interventions, 0 cost, 0 supplements, and every single one of them starts tomorrow morning. Here's your full action plan, rapid and clear. 1. Keep your phone face down for the first 30 minutes after waking. Protect your cortisol awakening response and stop the hormonal cascade before it starts. 2. Drink a full glass of room temperature water with a pinch of sea salt and fresh lemon. Restore your mineral balance and give your adrenal glands the raw materials they need to calm down. 3. Run 10 cycles of Nuki breath work. 4 counts in, 7 counts out, once in the morning and once before your evening meal to manually activate parasympathetic dominance and suppress adrenal firing. 4. Hold a strategic eating gap of at least 4 to 5 hours between your last 2 meals. Give your adrenals the metabolic silence they need to clear cortisol completely and shift your body into fat elimination mode. 5. 2 hours before bed, dim your lights, switch your screens to warm tones, and trigger the melatonin surge that delivers the nightly adrenal reset your body has been missing. 5 steps. 1 protocol. A complete daily architecture designed to do one thing. Turn off the alarm that has been keeping your visceral fat locked in place. No extreme restriction. No punishing workouts. Just the right signals, delivered at the right times, in the right sequence. Your adrenal glands have been waiting for this. Your body already knows how to burn that fat. It just needs you to stop triggering the emergency. Start tomorrow morning, not next week. If you feel like your body is constantly stuck in alert mode, with poor sleep, fatigue, untimely hunger, and stubborn abdominal fat, I've prepared the complete cortisol reset bundle. Inside, you'll receive the main guide, the cortisol reset, plus 2 bonuses, low nighttime cortisol protocol and cortisol, insulin, and abdominal fat. The link is in the description.